Chapter 2. Shaping of the Earth's Surface. Good morning, students. Today we will explore Chapter 2, Shaping of the Earth's Surface. In this chapter, we will discuss internal and external forces and how they constantly shape and transform the Earth's surface.
Good morning, ma'am.
Do you know what causes the constant transformation of the Earth's surface?
Yes, ma'am. I've heard that there are some powerful forces operating within and on the surface of the planet.
Operating? How can solid ground even change, ma'am?
It's all thanks to a brilliant concept called plate tectonics, first introduced by W.J. Morgan.
What is plate tectonics, ma'am?
Oh, it is about how the Earth's crust is broken into giant puzzle pieces. Tectonic plates are the several small and large pieces into which the outermost layer of Earth is broken.
Are they stationary or moving?
Yes, Ananya. Tectonic plates are always moving slowly, and their movement of tectonic plates creates various landforms such as mountains, volcanoes, plains, and valleys.
Ma'am, please tell us more about the layers of the Earth.
The Earth has three main layers which are called crust, mantle, and core. The crust is the outermost layer. Below crust lies the thick and hot mantle, and below mantle lies the super hot core. The crust and upper mantle form the rigid lithosphere, which is broken into massive slabs called tectonic plates.
Wow, this sounds so fascinating. But ma'am, what is asthenosphere?
A stenosphere exists below the lithosphere and is a semi-molten layer which allows the tectonic plates to move.
Ma'am, how many types of tectonic plates are there?
There are three main types of tectonic plates, namely continental plates, oceanic plates, and mixed plates. Continental plates carry continents. Oceanic plates carry ocean floors. And mixed plates carry both continents and oceans.
Ma'am, could you please explain what causes tectonic plates to move?
Sure. Convection currents present in the mantle are the cause of movement of tectonic plates. Intense heat from the Earth's core causes hot magma rise, cool, and sink. This continuous movement creates convection currents that push and pull the plates by a few centimeters every year.
Ma'am, do tectonic plates meet during movement?
Of course, they meet at their edges, which are called plate boundaries.
Ma'am, how many types of plate boundaries are there?
There are three main types of plate boundaries, namely convergent boundary, divergent boundary, and transform boundary.
Ma'am, could you please explain these boundaries to us in detail?
Sure, Ananya. At convergent boundary, two plates move towards each other and they collide to form fold mountains like the Himalayas. Divergent boundary is the place where two plates move away from each other and magma rises to fill the gap, creating new crust, like the underwater mid-Atlantic ridge. Finally, transform boundary is the place where plates slide past each other horizontally. This friction causes severe earthquakes, like along the San Andreas Fault.
So that's why we get earthquakes and volcanoes. Are they spread out everywhere evenly?
Not at all. Most happen along these boundaries. The most famous zone is a massive horseshoe-shaped area around the Pacific Ocean known as the Ring of Fire.
Speaking of unusual volcanic activity, I read about something strange in India. What is the mud volcano at Baratang Island?
Unlike fiery lava volcanoes, the Baratang Island mud volcano, located in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, is a rare wonder, where underground gases and pressure push bubbling liquid mud up to the surface. Students, have you heard about the process of weathering and erosion?
Yes, ma'am. My mother once told me that weathering is the process that breaks down rocks present on the Earth's surface into smaller pieces.
Very good, Arvind. And about erosion though?
Erosion wears away rocks, soils, and other surface materials which are carried from one place to another by natural agents like water, wind, ice, or waves.
Well done, Ananya. That's a correct answer.
But ma'am, how many types of weathering are there?
Weathering is of 3 types, namely physical weathering, chemical weathering, and biological weathering.
Could you please tell us more about them, ma'am?
Sure. Physical weathering is a process in which rocks break into smaller pieces because of change in temperature, frost, or wind. On the other hand, chemical weathering refers to change of minerals in rocks due to reaction with water, air, or acid leading to new substance. Lastly, biological weathering takes place due to plants, animals, or microorganisms. For example, when plants' roots grow into cracks of rocks to split them.
What are the types of erosion?
There are mainly 4 types of erosion: water erosion, wind erosion, glacial erosion, and coastal erosion. Does any of you know what these erosions are caused by?
Yes, ma'am. Water erosion is caused by water bodies. Wind erosion occurs in dry and sandy areas. Glacial erosion takes place due to moving ice scapes. And coastal erosion occurs due to sea waves.
You are absolutely right, Arvind.
How does this affect us? In what ways does erosion affect human occupations?
It has a massive impact. For farmers, erosion washes away fertile topsoil, lowering crop yields. For coastal or river communities, it can wash away roads and houses. It even disrupts tourism by damaging beaches.
That means ancient people must have found ways to stop it. How did ancient Indian systems manage soil and water?
They certainly did. Historic texts like Kautilya's Arthashastra show that the Sindhu-Saraswati civilization used contouring, bunding, and terracing to manage water. Even the 𝐶𝐵 system in Nagaland uses earthen bunds on hill slopes to slow down water, trap rich sediment, and recharge groundwater.
Ma'am, what do contouring, bunding, and terracing mean here?
Great question, Arvind. Contouring means farming across a slope following its natural shape, rather than up and down, which stops water from rushing straight down. Bunding is building small mud or stone walls across the hills to trap rainwater and prevent soil from washing away. And terracing is cutting wide, flat steps into steep hillsides, like a giant staircase, to create flat fields for crops.
Ma'am, what are the agents of gradation and what do they do?
Running water, glaciers, wind, waves, and groundwater are the main agents of gradation. They wear down, transport, and deposit materials on the surface of Earth for leveling or smoothing it over time.
What is running water, ma'am? What does it exactly do?
The course of river is called running water. It helps form V-shaped valleys, waterfalls, rapids, meander, oxbow lakes, floodplains, deltas, levees, and alluvial fans.
How does running water shape the land along a river's course?
A river changes as it flows from the mountains to the sea. It goes through 3 distinct phases.
What are those phases, ma'am?
There are 3 main phases: the upper course, middle course, and lower course. At the upper course, the river flows fast down steep slopes, creating V-shaped valleys, and dramatic waterfalls, where hard rock resists the water while soft rock wears away.
What happens at the middle and at lower course, ma'am?
At middle course, the land flattens. The river loses speed and starts to loop side to side, forming winding curves called meanders. And at lower course, the river deposits its heavy load of sediment before entering the sea, splitting into branches to create a fertile triangular delta, levees and alluvial fans.
Oh wow! What is waterfall though?
The flow of river over a steep cliff or vertical drop is called waterfall. It helps in hydroelectric power generation.
Ma'am, could you please define meander?
Of course. A meander is a bend in the middle or lower course of a river due to lateral erosion and deposition of sediments. It is crucial for humans as it helps agriculture flourish. The meandering rivers can also support tourism, help in irrigation and navigation.
What do we understand by deltas, ma'am?
A delta is formed at the mouth of a river during its flow into a sea, ocean or lake. Deltas are usually highly fertile due to their rich alluvial soil. They are also a great source of fishing and support dense human settlements.
Ma'am, could you please explain what are waves and currents?
Waves and currents move over the oceanic surface. They help create beaches, sea caves, sea cliffs, stacks, arches, and sandbars. Do you know what is a beach?
Yes, ma'am.
A beach is a landform mainly consists of sand, rocks, and pebbles along the shoreline of the sea. It is formed by waves, tides, and currents that deposit materials along the coast. Beaches are famous tourist attractions that boost local economy.
Very good, Ananya.
Ma'am, what are glaciers and how does the glacial erosion occur?
Glaciers are massive ice bodies that form on land from the accumulation of snow over centuries. The glacial erosion occurs when glaciers move across the land, dragging rocks and debris that grind, scrape, and pluck material from the Earth's surface. Glacial landforms are U-shaped valleys, cirques, hanging valleys, arêtes, and fjords.
What are moraines, ma'am?
They are landforms made by depositing rocks, soils, and debris left behind by glaciers.
Ma'am, please tell us about the types of moraines.
There are 3 types of moraines: lateral moraines, terminal moraines, medial moraines.
Ma'am, could you please explain the role of wind in the creation of landforms?
Sure. Wind erosion creates several landforms like yardangs, ventifacts, deflation hollows or blowouts, desert pavements, and dunes.
Ma'am, what are dunes? And how many types of dunes are there?
Dunes are hills formed with sand particles in desert regions like the Thar Desert in Rajasthan. There are 4 types of dunes: Barchan dunes, longitudinal dunes, star dunes, and parabolic dunes.
Ma'am, please define underground water along with its role in landforms.
Why not, Arvind? The water present below the surface of Earth is underground water. It creates unique landform called karst topography through chemical weathering and erosion. Could you guess the names of landforms created by underground water?
Yes, ma'am. The major landforms created by underground water are caves, stalactites, stalagmites, sinkholes or dolines, and underground rivers.
You are totally correct, Ananya. Caves are large hollow spaces carved out underground. And stalactites are icicle-shaped mineral formations that hang from the ceiling of a cave.
And what about stalagmites, sinkholes, and underground rivers, ma'am?
Stalagmites are matching mineral formations that grow upward from the cave floor. Sinkholes, also known as dolines, are large depressions or holes that open up on the surface when the ground suddenly collapses. And underground rivers are hidden streams of water that flow completely beneath the surface.
Ma'am, please explain the correlation between landforms and disasters.
Different disasters are associated with different landforms. For example, landslides occur in slopes. Heavy and continuous rainfall is one of the reasons for landslides. Human activities like deforestation, building infrastructure, and mining can also become the reason for landslides.
How do avalanches take place, ma'am?
Avalanches usually take place on steep mountain slopes by instability of snow. Natural calamities like high temperature, strong winds, and earthquakes can cause avalanches.
Ma'am, could you please tell us more about gulfs?
Sure, Arvind. Glacial lake outburst floods, commonly called GLOFs, occur due to sudden release of large volumes of water from glacial lakes.
And what about the dust storms, ma'am? How do they take place?
Dust storms take place due to strong winds lifting large amounts of loose, dry soil and sand in air. They are very common in semi-arid and desert regions where the soil is loose and dry. Extreme weather conditions and climate change can increase their frequency.
Thank you, ma'am. Today's class was very interesting and we got to learn a lot from it.
I'm glad you all enjoyed it. In our next class, we'll explore another important chapter of geography, that is, Chapter 3, Atmosphere and Climate.
Thank you, ma'am.
अपना इंडिया गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना पढ़ाई हो जो करनी जरा भी ना घबराना गोल्डन बुक्स को अपनाना अपना इंडिया गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना कक्षा विषय कोई हो आसान समझ पाना गोल्डन ही तो है सफलता का पैमाना गोल्डन ही ला रहा है चेहरे पे मुस्कुराना मैं गोल्डन का दीवाना अपना इंडिया बुक्स का दीवाना गोल्डन बुक्स का दीवाना